Hi guys, Dr. Wendy Dearborn here from Bon Appetit. Come on, let's eat. Guys, well today I'm going to actually show you how to make a delicious crab stuffing. It's crab and avocado stuffing, if the truth be known. And this can be used to stuff lobster, which is one of the dishes I'm going to be bringing to you, and also to stuff shrimp, another dish that I'm going to be bringing to you. Now this particular crab stuffing, it can be used to stuff lobster, it can be used to stuff crab, it can be used to stuff shrimp, it can be used to stuff fish. You can roll it, you can use it in a roll. This is so versatile. You can put it on top of fish and bake fish and then give it a little broil to make everything kind of golden crispy, and so it's a very, very versatile stuffing, and it also freezes nicely, especially if your crab wasn't frozen to begin with. So this actual dressing is done in two parts, because what we do, as you're going to see, is we're going to actually cook some stuff up, like some shallots and some garlic with some peppers and a little bit of carrot, and we're going to let that sweat down a little bit, and then once it's cooled off, we will then mix it with the panko and all the other ingredients that I'm going to show you. So guys, let's get started. Okay guys, let's have a quick look to see what we've got on our chopping block. We have here half a cup of finely diced shallots. We have 3 garlic cloves that have been finely, actually this was put through a press, and if not through a press, to be really finely diced. We have half a carrot, and this is just a little bit more, half a carrot that has been shredded and finely diced. We have our Serrano peppers that have been cut, again finely diced. We have some scallion or some spring onions, and in the middle here we have some cilantro, and we have some red pepper. So what we are going to do is we're going to sweat that. But before I get to that, the rest of the dressing, we have 1.5 cups of panko breadcrumbs. We have, and that's Japanese style breadcrumbs. Of course, we have our avocado. We have mayonnaise, which is 1 cup of mayonnaise here. We have 1 egg, and I'm going to use the entire egg. Sometimes people will just use the egg yolk, but I'm going to use the whole thing, and that will help with the binding. So we have 1 egg which will be beaten. We have the star of the show, which is our crab meat, and this happens to be blue lumped crab meat. You can use claw meat, whatever. Actually, you can use imitation crab meat if you want. It's whatever appeals to you. But we have crab meat here, which is the star, and of course we have some salt and pepper, and we have, I like avocado oil, so I've got some avocado oil here, and that's what I'm going to cook these vegetables in. So guys, it's really important to note that you can actually cook your vegetables in butter. I prefer not, but you can definitely cook your vegetables in butter. I've added some oil, about 2 tablespoons, that was about 1.5 tablespoons. I'm going to add just a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is add the shallots, and you can add the shallots to the cold oil, it doesn't matter, because what we're going to do is we're going to just sweat these off. We're really just softening this all up. We don't want them to brown, so make sure that your pan isn't too hot. So we need to turn that down ever so slightly. There you go. And we are just going to sweat that off just a little bit. I love shallots. Shallots are a cross between an onion and garlic. To that, all I'm going to add is just a pinch of salt. Salt can really help to release the natural juices of the shallot. Okay, I'm going to add the carrots and the Serrano peppers. You can use jalapenos if you want. It also helps with any kind of water that the vegetables will produce. It actually helps that process as well. If you don't like carrots, you can use water chestnuts and or jicama. The carrots in this, other than giving it a really nice complementary colour, the carrots in this also lend for texture, so that this texture and you know, and crunch when you are eating the stuffing, and it's not just sort of like all, you know, like panko or breadcrumbs. So let's add this. And the thing that we actually add last, or once it is in the bowl, you'll see what I do, will be the cilantro and the scallion or the spring onions. It's a really pretty colour, guys. So we're going to let this cook for just for a couple more minutes, and then we're going to put it into a bowl. And again, you want your flame not too terribly high. Not too terribly high. Okay guys, it has cooked down, and I'm going to transfer our veggies. You can see this is steaming hot into the bowl. Alright, and we'll put that into the sink. And this is what I was talking about with the cilantro and the green onions. I'm just going to add those on top. And again, you can use parsley. It is, I'm not a fan of parsley, but you can definitely use parsley. And you just put that on top, and then you allow this to cool totally. This has to cool in its entirety, because you are adding cold crab meat, you are adding egg, you are adding mayo. So, okay guys, our dressing has, or our vegetables that we have sweated off have cooled down completely. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to actually dice up the avocado, which is really important, and then we're going to put everything together. Okay guys, so to dice the avocado, what I'm going to do is use a paring knife, and I'm literally very gently, you got to make sure you don't go all the way through, otherwise you'll cut yourself. Very gently, just making lines, vertical lines, and then coming across horizontally. And these avocados that I'm using, they are just a little bit too ripe. They need to be ripe but firm. But these are just a little bit too ripe, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, really, isn't it? So, and then I'm going to use a spoon to remove the avocado meat and just put it into a bowl. Oops. And she's making a mess. Right, and to put it into a bowl, discard that. Put this to the side. And let's clean this up. Okay guys. Right. Okay, we have the dressing. Alright, so guys, this is the dressing. It actually smells really good. I have my crab meat here, my lumped crab meat. And so I'm going to open that. Please always make sure when you're buying your crab meat that the can is actually sealed. And this is a pound of blue crab meat. And literally, I'm going to empty it into the bowl. All contents into the bowl. And we're going to break that up. Just kind of gently, just breaking it up. Yay! It's looking good already. And guys, when you're making your crab meat stuffing, whatever's left over, you can actually freeze it. I'm going to add half of the, that was a little more than half, but half of the panko. Give it a quick stir, nothing too intense. Give it a quick stir. I'm going to add the mayonnaise, and this is a cup of mayo. Cup of mayo. So I'm going to add a cup of mayo, and I am going to start really mixing this in. We may need more mayo and or not, because what we're looking for is a stuffing that is wet enough to hold together but not soaking wet. We don't want it too dry. We don't want it too dry, but wet enough that it will hold together, but not too dry where you can see, like in here, you can still sort of see the breadcrumbs in that. You don't want to be able to see the panko or whatever breadcrumbs you use. And you can definitely use the traditional Italian breadcrumbs. I prefer not. I'm definitely a fan of panko. This smells really, really nice. Okay, we are going to add, see guys, this won't hold together. It needs just a little bit more binding, and you have to realize that with time, as it sits, the consistency will change, and it is going to sit, so the consistencies will change. So I'm going to beat the egg. I'm going to actually add the entire egg. I'm going to lightly beat the egg. And I'm going to add the egg, and some people mix this with their hands, which is okay, Give this a really good mix. Some people will use 2 sticks of butter, half a pound of butter to assist with the binding. Again, that's not something that I choose to do, but you can definitely do that if that's what suits you. People will use 2 to 4 packets of Ritz crackers to do this, to make their dressing. It's my preference not to do that. They'll use bread. So where I'm going with this is, you can do anything that you want to do to create your dressing. Now if your dressing is too dry, you think your dressing is too dry, you just add some more mayo, okay? If you think your dressing is too dry. If your dressing is too wet, you just add some more breadcrumbs. This is my salt and pepper, a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm going to now add the avocado and gently mix that in. Gently mix your avocado in. Gently mix your avocado in. And guys, once that's mixed in, we're in business. We have our stuffing. Actually, before you put the egg in this, you could taste this because the egg is raw. I will not do that, but prior to the egg, and if you don't use egg and you don't choose to use egg, as long as you've got enough mayo, it will do what you need it to do. So guys, this is the consistency that you're looking for. It truly isn't too wet, but it's wet enough where it will bind together. Okay guys, where it will bind together. Slightly tacky, slightly sticky, and that's fine. That will do what you want it to do. Yeah. Make a little meatball. You can make a little meatball. Okay. Again, it needs to be wet, but not soaking wet that you cannot create a ball with it. Okay guys. So we are now going to get ready to stuff our crab, to stuff our lobster.